Hey guys, welcome to another Kamua tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make a quick GIF and some stories for Facebook and Instagram using auto cut and smart crop. Let's use the latest video from Yonica for the song Don't Wait Till Tomorrow. Simply paste in the link and hit add video. Very importantly, make sure you have the rights to use the content. As you can see, Kamua automatically cuts the video into all of its relevant shots. We can hover over a shot to preview it and click add to timeline to do exactly that. First however, I'm going to show you how to create a quick GIF from just one of the shots. So I'll just hit the trash can to clear the timeline and also click down in the bottom left to hide the assets panel. Now let's scroll until we find a shot we want. Let's get the final one, that looks pretty cool. Now this shot has a fade out at the end, but I don't want to include that, so let's trim it off. And we click on the clip to open up the clip editor and use the magnifying glass to zoom in on the selection bar. Now we can do one of two things, either drag the selection bar to trim the clip to where we want it, or we can drag the playhead to the right point and simply click the set trim end icon on the playhead. Just make sure you navigate to the last frame you want to include, so here we don't want to include any of the fade out. Now we can select either draft render or full render for a downloadable non-watermarked version. Let's go for a full render. But before we do, let's just go to the settings gear and select remove black bars. Wait for it to process and select the GIF icon to download as a GIF. Now let's go for something a bit more immersive. I'm going to take a small section of the video, say around 20 seconds, and smart crop it to portrait for an Instagram or Facebook story. So let's find a nice section of the video. Now the auto cut clips are set to mute by default, but I can easily mute them by clicking on any clip to open up the clip preview and selecting the unmute audio button. There. Now when I hover over the clips, the audio will play too. And so for quickness, we can check the first video, hold down the shift button on the keyboard and select the last clip we want. Let's get the drummer in, they always appreciate a bit of recognition. Now you can see all 10 clips are selected and we can click to add the 10 shots to the timeline at the top. Now to turn on Smart Crop. Click the settings gear at the bottom right, select aspect ratio. We want this to be a story, so we'll select 9:16 portrait, select Smart Crop, make sure the audio is checked, and as we've selected consecutive clips, we don't need the audio to crossfade, so we just set that to 0 and close. Now, there are two ways to process the Smart Crop. We can either render the entire video, or we can click on a clip and select the button in the top right to generate Smart Crop Preview. And while it's processing, we can click the side arrows to edit the other shots. But as we want to smart crop the entire video, we may as well render the whole thing. Now we can select either draft render or full render for a downloadable non-watermarked version. Let's just hit draft render for now, just so we can see how the smart crop actually performed. Not bad at all. But let's go back in to add some custom tracking. So if we click on edit and confirm to overwrite the current timeline, we can now see the shots in the timeline with smart crop enabled. Now I did notice that the last shot we selected had a fraction of the next beat in it, so let's trim that off. Click on it to open the clip editor. Again we zoom in. And now we can do one of two things again, either drag the selection bar to trim the clip to where we want it, or we can drag the playhead to the right point and simply click the trim end icon on the playhead. Okay, let's add some custom tracking to improve smart crop even more. If we look at the fourth shot, number 67, we can see that Teresa hasn't actually been selected, but we want her in the center frame, especially as she's singing in that shot. So we click on the clip to open the clip editor, select track a custom object, then we just drag a selection box around whatever we want to track. In this case we'll select Teresa's face, hit the check to apply the changes, hit apply, then close. There are a couple of other shots that I'd like to have better tracking, so let me just quickly go in and fix those. And once we're happy, we can go for a full render. And there we have it. Smart crop and custom track in action. Okay, thanks for watching guys, and see you for the next tutorial.